Welcome back, going into the second half here of the old drop frames. GoldenBoy, you want to give us the rundown on this Smash issue? There's a lot to cover. Right? Who are we angry at? That's who I need to know, GoldenBoy. Where do we direct our pitchforks?
So there's just a lot. So for those who don't know, there was an event that was supposed to happen this weekend called Smash World Tour that ended up getting canceled because Nintendo essentially issued a cease and desist to them. They didn't have the rights for it. Now there's a lot of information, so I could be missing parts of the story. So I will turn gladly to chat on all of our channels to give us the down low. Yeah, so basically that's what's happening. Then Nintendo issues a statement stating that VG Bootcamp, the organizers of the Smash World Tour, didn't meet certain standards and protocols, but they didn't say what those standards and protocols were. Then things were going around that the guy who runs the Smash World Circuit or whatever, which is basically like the program that's overseeing all of Smash Esports for Nintendo. So it's like a third-party operator, which, fun fact, Twitch was trying to do years ago, but it ended up not happening for obvious reasons. And I think this is a great example of that. Apparently, the guy, Dr. Allen, was going around and telling everyone, oh, wouldn't it be a shame if you guys got canceled if you weren't a part of our circuit?
That's the Panda, the Panda Global
Panda
CEO.
Gaming,
which is another group.
Yeah, so they're the group that kind of runs Smash Esports right now for Nintendo.
They have the official license.
He was basically, from the sounds of it, acting like the mafia?
He was strong-arming people,
Yeah, he was.
It's a shame if you didn't pay for our protection.
That's what the the general consensus is that he was strong-arming folks to work with them.
To be a part, to be a part of their circuit. Because they didn't want to prevent, they wanted basically to prevent anything else from getting bigger. Funny thing is, I dealt with this same thing with Call of Duty and UMG and MLG back in the day.
Sure.
So when I saw this, I was like, damn, I'm getting some flashbacks here. I feel like I've lived this before.
Look, once you've been in esports for a while, you've seen the same trick 1,000 times.
It always comes full circle. Because like I was helping run a company called UMG who was making Call of Duty tournaments, and then MLG were doing the same thing, and then it was just like this crazy thing that and it basically now CDL exists and none of that matters, but that might not happen for Smash. So the Panda Gaming CEO essentially was like going around kind of strong-arming people. Then they released a statement saying that they regret what he did, but they didn't apologize for it and essentially advertise their event throughout the entire statement because they know it was going to be read by a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's a real.
This all happened in the matter of 12 hours. Well, the Nintendo statement came out, and then I think they released the Smash, whatever thing that got canceled, and then Panda released a statement later that day, and then it just kind of kept going back and forth.
Yeah, it was just not good, and obviously Nintendo's. I just, for the life of me, I'll never understand. I'll never get it as
Japan.
JP, you're an esports guy, so you get this with me. You're literally sitting on a fucking gold mine, bro. You got Super Smash Brothers, one of the most competitive fighting games ever created, and millions of people love it. And all you have to do is just give an iota of support. Just little
Japan, man.
They just don't.
Yeah.
It actually baffles my mind. But anyway, that's the situation. And where we are right now, Smash World Tour is still canceled. But Ludwig stepped in though, and I guess he's gonna do his own thing called the Stuff World Tour.
Nice.
Yeah, he's gonna do another tournament. I guess good luck shutting down Ludwig, Panda. So that's the situation.
He's got Mr. Beast backing. Yeah, he's got some money involved.
They're good.
Yeah. It's a whole mess. That we covered some small facets of it. The other facet too is that because Panda was brought into this and because they released statements, that they also have a massive amount of staff, and a massive amount of that staff has left because of just the vitriol of the internet, needing a target essentially.
Well, and also too, the unfortunate thing is that a lot of the people who are staying there, because obviously, it's their job and they need work.
They're
being harassed, they're getting doxxed, it's been really bad. So it's like when the Smash community goes in, they go hard in the paint. And it has been rough.
Yeah.
Oh, but someone in my chat just said 80% of the signed FGC players have left or removed references to Panda from their socials. That's actually a significant amount of players because Panda was everywhere.
Yeah.
They had a lot of players in the FGC.
So they went from like feeling comfortable enough to strong arm other people to like basically being canceled from their own industry, from the sounds of it.
A little bit. I mean, they still have the license, but it seems like a lot of people are just not going to participate in a lot of ways. Like it's a mess. It's an absolute fucking mess.
The thing is I don't think that this is really going to hurt Smash in the long term. Like, honestly speaking,
no, Smash is
I know
eternal.
This sounds weird. Exactly. Smash is eternal, man. Like, how many ups and downs has this community been in? They're going to be fine. They'll find a way because they always do. It's the Smash community. I mean, or at least that's what I want to think. You know,
I think it's true. I believe in that.
Yeah.
I don't. The times that I catch Smash, I'm not an avid watcher, but I'll watch at grand finals because that shit's always crazy hype.
Always hype.
No matter what the final is and whoever's in it, it's always insane. There's always crazy storylines being written. But it's tough to follow the small granular details in a story like this because there's so much and it's honestly moving so fast the past couple of days. And I've seen giant names in the FGC remove like Panda or altogether leave.
Yeah, Jaywong.
Yeah, Jaywong
like,
being one
he's
of them.
out.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
It's like one of the 5 esport names I know.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Big deal.
So if you know
GoldenBoy, for the record, you're another one.
Take it, baby.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. I touched base with Jaywong earlier today. He's fine. He's going to Japan. He's flying to Japan right now. He's on a 12-hour flight and he doesn't have wireless. He was very upset about that.
Oh, that is a good reason to be upset.
Yeah, he was not super thrilled about his
flight. What is this, 1990?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a long flight. That's a long flight.
Yeah. Need a handkerchief to do one of those things with.
Girls.
GoldenBoy, I'll go back to you as well for this next bit of news. Tom French is leaving 343 Industries. He is the multiplayer creative director on Halo Infinite. He's also been there for just a massive amount of Halo stuff over the past 11 and a half years, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, he's been there for a minute.
Yeah. How's kind of the Halo world taking that? Is that a like, hey, we can get some new blood in there, try some new things, or is that a like, maybe this? How's it going?
JP, the Halo community is a precious onion with multiple layers that need to be curated and cared for.
Okay.
All right. So I've known Tom for a little while. I used to come out to a few of the events. Really nice guy. Always had like a wicked beard and haircut.
Yeah, he's always got like a mohawk, right?
Yeah. So he was there, I believe, H4 into H5. So not Bungie, and I could be misspeaking here, but he was very much a part of like the new generation, if you will, of like Halo devs. And obviously it depends on who you ask, right? For some people, obviously, I always heard good things about him behind the scenes from a lot of my colleagues who left 343 or who are still at 343. All said great things about him. There it is. I'm telling you, man, the mohawk and the beard, the guy makes it work.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I think that's when they announced that Halo Infinite was like playable on that Monday. That's where that shot.
I believe so.
Yeah.
So there's always that mindset of like, oh, he had a great run. Obviously, Halo, regardless of your thoughts on it, sold millions of copies. So like, it was still an insanely successful franchise.
Yeah.
Lots to be happy about if you are a AAA developer with a resume like that. But then obviously, you get down to the Twitter replies and the community sentiment, if you will. And a lot of them, obviously, diehards of H3 and H2, very much celebrating his departure, which is like really weird. And then there's been a lot of changes within the company because Bonnie Ross left and Pierre, I forget his last name, but he took over and he's actually amazing. He's like one of the guys that like he's the reason why Master Chief Collection is where it's at right now and where it should have been from the beginning.
Yeah.
Like him and his team, they're the reason why they just absolutely knocked it out of the park. And in some cases, MCC, it pains me to say, is even better than Halo Infinite. I would say outside of Forge, because Forge mode is just in Halo Infinite is literally top class.
I've heard really good things about it.
Yeah. What people are making in Forge mode right now is just, it's out of this world. But that being said, there is a lot of conversation of like, oh, is this just not like shuffling of upper management because changes needed to be made? So obviously people have their tinfoil hats on, trying to act as if this is like a part of some bigger thing to just like expunge any of the H4 H5 mindset from 343, which I don't necessarily believe that that's true. I just think the guy worked there for a really long time and was ready to just take on a new chapter in his life.
Yeah,
sometimes just as simple as that.
But
everything's a conspiracy these days, guys. All right.
That is true.
Conspiracy.
We are on the internet. I think if you work on anything, like you said, 11 and a half years, it's a lot. If you work on something like Halo, where you're getting constant feedback, wanted feedback or not, that probably is more like 30 years on your life.
You can't really be creative in Halo. It's just like if you try and do something different, you're going to get eviscerated by the community. And then and even now, you want to know what's even crazier? Okay, check this out, right? There's a contingent of players that are advocating for the return of Halo 5. So we now have
to go back to Halo 5 esports?
Go back to Halo 5 like gameplay. It's every game of Halo has been so different that there are people, there's like the H3, H2 camp, there's the H1 camp, then there's the Reach players, then there aren't that a lot of Halo 4 players, but some of those are Halo 5 fans. So they want to go back to that. And then, you have the Infinite fans who like are kind of, it trends more toward the H3 fans. It's just so all over the place.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
It
really is crazy.
It reminds me a lot of
onion. Onion seems to be a good way to say it.
That's true. Yeah.
Precious onion.
It reminds me a lot of the Battlefield world. Because like right now, Battlefield is, I want to say the majority of Battlefield players are playing Battlefield 5. There's also a large consensus of them playing Battlefield 1, which is...
That happens a lot, though.
Yeah, and then Battlefield 4 is also still incredibly popular. It's always been popular. Like, people love Battlefield 4. They love going...
Once the game got fixed, it was made... Like, everyone was like, this is the perfect Battlefield game.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
It's kind of all over the place with that. I guess they keep selling, so there's no reason not to support them, right? I think all those games were on sale recently on Steam for like $5, and so people were going in and playing it. But if you go back to when those games like came out, people just shit all over them. And then like
vicious. 2
years later, they patch it. They get it to where it's at now, and they're like, yeah, I think Battlefield 1's the best Battlefield. What happened? It's crazy.
I just hate though that it's like that, because it shouldn't be, right? Like it shouldn't take 2 years for a game to realize its true potential. Like I know that Halo Infinite in 2 years from now is going to be an incredible game. Like it's going to be well optimized. It's going to play great. I know it's going to happen because it happened at MCC. MCC is true. My favorite Halo game. I pop on MCC at least once a week. And I just play H3 FFA, just run around, shoot people. And I have a freaking blast. It's so great. And I know Halo Infinite is going to be in the same place. But why is it constantly like this? I hate that it keeps, and it's never going to stop.
I mean,
because you keep buying it.
You kind of I think you hit the nail on the head when you said, like, games come out, they try to do something new. Then the community says, we don't like that new thing. Go back to match something of the old thing. And then that's what takes 2 years to do, is match the old thing.
My friend who made Rogue Company.
Oh yeah.
He told me the
bad company.
Rogue Company.
Oh, Rogue. You're talking about Gandhi.
High-res one.
Yeah.
Scott. Yeah. He told me the best thing ever. He was like, people say that they want something new. People say that they want the game to evolve. But the fact of the matter is, they want about 80% of the game that they played, and then a 20% of new that is enough for them to be like, oh yeah, this is new enough for me. When you divert too much from it, and really, like if you think about it, he's absolutely not wrong. Yeah, so many people are like that. So I think that, that's kind of the problem. It's like everyone wants innovation, but then when innovation is presented to them, they're like, I don't like this. Give me the thing that I've been playing for 10 years.
I don't like change.
Yeah. I think...
give me the same thing again, please.
That's right. But
Look,
slightly better looking.
Hyrule
better
Warriors
frame rate.
4.
If,
Doom Hyrule Warriors 4 with the DLC of 1, 2, and 3 combined.
if World of Warcraft Dragonflight came out this past week on the 28th, it's literally the greatest hits of WoW. Like, their zones are just the best zones in WoW, like part 2. It's wild how it's
and are people loving it?
Yes, I think it's so far it's like been an incredible launch, which is for World of Warcraft to be at that stage.
It's rare.
It's it's not rare. It's just like, think about where they were like 2 years ago, right? Like,
yeah,
Shadowlands came out. It was arguably one of their worst expansions. Also, all of the other shit that happened at Activision Blizzard. And now they're like putting out a game that, for the most part, people seem to be loving.
It's
still early days,
Overwatch
but
2.
Yeah.
Right? Overwatch 2, same thing. It's like Overwatch never stopped being a good game. It just stopped having content. And in the era of Fortnite, where you're getting loaded with just new content every single week.
Yeah.
And granted, I'm not saying that like Blizzard didn't drop the ball, because they definitely dropped the ball with Overwatch. But like, let's be honest here. It's just the fact that like you have this expectation that you have to release shit every single week now. It's a lot. It's genuinely too much.
Yeah. What else is out there in the world of news? Jirard, I'll go to you with this. The news is the latest release of Persona 5 has already sold 1 million units, with Persona 5 Royale coming out on all the platforms that it did. I think it was also on Game Pass. Have you done a completionist run of Persona 5 Royale?
Yes.
Oh,
that's the response I wanted to hear.
Well, this is okay. So just to be clear, I've done Persona 5 regular, not Royale.
Oh, okay.
And so because I've been working on this video for a long time, and then Royale was announced, and I was like, well, I gotta fucking get it out.
Never stop.
Yeah, I gotta do it before it's too late. But for me personally, it's one of the only games where defining completion criteria is a gray area, because here's the thing.
Really?
Yeah. The true completionists will argue with me, and I don't have the answer. So basically, when I was working on Persona 5, I've been working on this video for like, no joke, 2 or 3 years. It was something I was working on it was like this and Hyrule Warriors going back and forth, and I was going crazy between both games. And the thing about Persona 5 is it's my first Persona game, and I walked away absolutely loving it. It's incredible. I love it so much.
Yeah.
But true completionists will argue that when it comes to Persona 5 specifically, New Game Plus, to get all of the romanceable items is a core component. So for those of you who don't know, in Persona 5, you have to romance characters, and you are given a item that's like representative of your love of that character. And that item is just a potion. It's like if you get infy hit points, it's a one-time use item. It's just to say that you did it. It's not really a thing. It's like, it's not that important. It's just I got the end this small scene where An gave me her item.
That's right. An's that's the only one. That's all you need to do.
That's all you need to do, right? No, it's all of them. There's like 8. I think there's 8 or 9 ladies to date.
I think JP's an
An is the only one. Don't ask why I have a statue of An on the desk right now, Jirard.
Perfect. There you go.
See, the only reason he knows that is because he hasn't seen the glory that is Team Makoto. So we're gonna
shit out of here.
Discussion. We're gonna table this discussion for now, and we'll just admit that he's wrong, and we'll just move on with it.
So completionists, the hardcore Persona 5 completionists will argue that true completion is 10 playthroughs of Persona 5.
Yeah, that's what.
10 or 11 playthroughs.
I agree.
Getting all of the items.
Shit, that's
But in actuality, you could a regular normal human being who loves Persona 5 a lot that wants to complete it can do it in about 2 playthroughs. A regular human being. I tried to do right by the Persona 5 fans and do all the playthroughs, and I just couldn't because it was killing my mental and physical health.
Yeah,
I think
that's
I
a
got
lot, man.
I think I got
That is a huge amount.
600 hours. I think I did 5 or 6
So
playthroughs.
Oh, okay, yeah, fine. I guess if you're
and I had to stop. I just was like,
I've
this
never
is
played one of them.
it's
just
too much.
it's about 120, 130 first run.
For a potion. For a potion that you use and it goes away. Like,
Yeah.
what are we talking about here? I got the platinum in the first 80 hours, and here I am being like, but I need the potions that will go away when I use them. Like,
I need my
didn't make
waifu
sense.
potions. It's bathwater from the waifu. That's why it's so important, Jirard. You got to get the bathwater.
Oh, it's a bath water.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
they don't. It's the
With that,
All of a sudden,
it's-
GoldenBoy's like, wait a second.
It's
Okay,
a
hold
fan
on.
theory. Yeah.
I'm back in. I don't know about you, but I'm back in.
I mean, no one said it was bathwater.
Should have said that.
With that said, it does not surprise me that Persona 5 getting those numbers on Game Pass does
awesome.
that, because when you have a game that everyone universally talks about, loves, and praises, and then you have an audience that's never played that game because they don't own that platform, and you go, here you go, suddenly everyone's going to show up.
Yeah.
It makes sense to me.
That's very true. I'm glad that game is doing well. I cannot wait till we see whatever Persona 6 is in the next couple of years.
Oh man.
Yeah. Whatever that looks like.
Oh,
Let's talk some new releases. Let's talk Callisto Protocol. I feel like that's been an interesting thing to watch unfold as someone who's not playing it. Ko, you haven't finished it yet. Jirard, you are finishing it. You're done with it. So let's,
my video just came out 9 minutes ago.
okay,
So.
let's be careful with spoilers, story spoilers wise. I'll pull up some early VOD here.
Yes.
Of
Don't show my video because my video is nothing but spoilers.
Okay, we'll pull up some Co footage here of Callisto Protocol. Co, we'll start with you as well. Like let's talk about the game in general.
Okay, so I'm gonna make some people angry with this statement.
Oh, I like it. That's not Star Sticker.
I enjoy and like this game.
Okay.
I do.
Oh, that's nice, right?
I do.
Is that what we're supposed to do?
Yeah, most of the time. Here's the thing. So Callisto Protocol. Now, I'm pretty well known as being pretty forgiving. You know, I'm a huge fan of the Gothic franchise. I like Elix. You know, I can deal with some jank because if there's stuff in a game that I like, then I can kind of focus on that and kind of just, you know, deal with or even ignore the stuff that I'm not really feeling because I'm really feeling one thing. So, for instance, in Callisto's Protocols, I'm really digging the world and the sound. I love the environments. The sound effects are great as you're moving around. Like I constantly catch myself being like, "Oh man, this sounds like really cool." I wear headphones during it because of how good it is. The combat at times can feel fun and good. Like when you've got like 2 enemies coming towards you, you pick one up and throw them in the spikes. The other guy comes up, you're like doing this dodge thing and smashing him, and you get him to the wall, start headbutting him. Sometimes feels pretty great. The characters in the story are okay. I mean, sure, they could be better, and especially towards the part of the game I'm at now, I'm pretty convinced that they either wanted to add more levels that they didn't, or that something happened and they just said, okay, just connect these 2 dots. We're not even gonna like tell the player what happened. We're just gonna connect these 2 dots so the game can keep going. And like, as somebody who likes more immersive gameplay, it's pretty jarring. But overall, I'm enjoying my time. I'm at about 9 hours on the hardest difficulty. There's no question it's janky. The combat gets repetitive.
What when you say janky, what do you mean by that?
I mean,
describe the jank.
The jank. Sometimes you dodge and you get hit anyway. If you have 2 enemies attacking you, the camera just has no freaking clue what it's doing. The combat was clearly designed for one-on-one, but even then, from a gameplay perspective, there are things about the combat system that make 0 sense. Like for instance, I'm serious. For instance, you can like and I think somebody said I was talking about it, the gameplay thing, and somebody linked me a time thing on this guy named SkillUp, great YouTube reviewer, and they were like, watch this and tell me how you feel about it. And I said, and I watched this thing what SkillUp said, and I said, yes, that's exactly right. And what he said is, there's this one boss, for instance, the way that the game works is that whenever you get attacked, you can hit A or D and your character auto dodges. It's not timing. If you're just holding A or D, then your character dodges. And if they do a little combo, as long as you alternate between A and D, you just keep dodging. Well, there's a boss later in the game that does like one big attack and then backs off. So literally, if you hold down a button on your keyboard, the boss can never hit you.
Huh.
Ever.
Sounds like my kind of game.
Yeah, I know, right? Now it's kind of like the idea behind the idea behind the combat system seems cool, where it's like, you know, they took out the timing element. They want your character to be agile. They want it to be like if you're paying attention, you don't get hit. That's cool. But the implementation is that it becomes incredibly repetitive. You end up doing the same combo and dodge technique over and over and over. And if multiple enemies come in, the system was clearly designed for one enemy. So it's like if two enemies come in and you're dip, dodge, dive in one of them, like the other guy just smack in the back of the head. Or, you know, if you're like doing your combo in one of them, the other guy would just lob a projectile at you that you literally can't see or dodge. There's no indicators. So, you know, it's the kind of thing again where it's just like there were some clearly cool and interesting ideas that just didn't get fleshed out enough. And instead of this system being something kind of new and innovative, which I think a lot of people were not only hoping, but expecting, I think it makes it so not only are expectations not met, but it turns something that could have been cool into something that feels kind of janky. It's something that feels kind of loose.
Huh.
And again, as somebody who is really digging the environments and really digging the sound, and I'm loving moving through this, you know, super sci-fi crazy prison / you know, abandoned space station. For me, it's kind of like, okay, whatever. The janky combat system's getting me to the next thing I like. It's not a big deal. There are people who are literally like posting clips of themselves getting in a dumb combat situation and just alt F4ing and uninstalling the game. Like it's that bad for some people. Like because they went into this game wanting that awesome combat system that simply is not there. So that's my thing. Because I'm focusing on what I like, I'm sitting here with Callisto Protocol going, I'm having a good time with it. Like it's fine. You know, it's okay. I mean, sure, it's a little janky, but I'm enjoying it. Just like I'd say about like a Gothic or an Elix. Like I'm liking it. It's cool.
Yeah.
But there's some people who are like, the world is not good enough for this. The characters are not good enough for this. The lack of polish towards the end, this is not this whole package.
Interesting.
Is just not doing it.
Yeah. Thanks.
Someone
Zeke.
in my chat said that this was supposed to be connected to PUBG universe somehow.
It was.
It was.
Yes. When they first got their funding, the whole like contingency of the funding was that we want this to be in the future of the PUBG universe. This is going to be in the PUBG universe. And of course, everyone was like, is this a joke? Like the PUBG universe? Like, this is ridiculous. This is crazy. So I think about a year ago, 6 months, a year ago, the Callisto Protocol devs came out and said, okay, look, we're not doing this. Like, we know we announced it. We know we said we're going to do it, but we're not doing this. It's in its own universe. Don't worry about it. We're gutting that whole thing. So the end product is not in the PUBG universe. But they did announce, and it is factual, that at one point it was.
That's crazy.
It is
what is a
absolutely
PUBG universe?
crazy. It is
What is a
literally
PUBG
just
universe?
whatever
I don't know.
incredibly
China.
loose
Goldenboy.
lore.
That's
Yeah,
where
it's just
PUBG
what's the Fortnite universe, GoldenBoy? What is
Excuse me.
it's
I'm
the
about
land
to,
of
I'm about
IP.
to unlock Doom Guy, and I'm gonna have Doom Guy and Master Chief party up together, and it's gonna be a crazy fantasy.
They're gonna
of
fight
mine.
Geralt
So,
from The Witcher.
damn right they will.
Yeah.
Noticed how you didn't
Somewhere
answer
along the
my
way, they're gonna
question.
shoot an
What
anime
is
girl.
what is the Fortnite question?
The Fortnite universe
Fortnite
is
universe?
IP and money. That's what exists in Fortnite is IP and money.
Fair enough.
No, but you see,
to really
to
answer-
try to forge a story, like
To
PUBG is
legitimately
just
answer
like,
your question,
yeah.
I actually looked into this because when that announcement first came out, I said exactly what you did. I said, what in the actual is a PUBG universe? And what it is it's this really, really loose, airy lore that they basically they made PUBG and then they just created some weird back thing on like, oh, it's this place where this stuff happens because the world's ending. Or it's just nonsense. It's complete nonsense.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah,
whole
it's
point
absurd.
is
I like
that
the Fortnite story.
and
The
what-
Fortnite
I
story
don't-
is airtight.
but the whole point was that the company, I don't remember what's the company that runs PUBG. It's
PUBG
a
Corp.
larger, maybe it is
Oh,
whatever
yeah.
parent company.
You're talking about who publishes it? It's like
unfunded
Krafton.
Callisto.
I think Krafton.
Yeah, they
Krafton.
funded Callisto early, so they wanted something out of the deal. So they basically said, "We'll give you a bunch of money, just put it in the PUBG universe." And Callisto was like, "Well, we like money," and that happened. So
Yeah.
Well, that's one side of the Callisto Protocol story. Let's go to some people, aka Jirard. How do you feel about the Callisto Protocol?
Yeah, so Co likes it. That's what we got. Co enjoyed it, is enjoying his time with it.
Yeah.
But now it is Jirard's time.
Yeah.
All right.
And
So-
dreams.
So first things first, shout outs to Skill Up, Ralph. We have a podcast together called Friends Per Second. He's a great guy.
Nice.
His video
cool.
on it is amazing. So yeah, he's a great dude. Good friend of mine. My video just dropped, so you can watch it after this podcast. It's 35 minutes long. The conceit of it is two things. Callisto Protocol is a very, very, very okay game. It's very fine. It's very mid. And my whole thesis about the whole thing is that the combat is Dead Space meets Mike Tyson's Punch Out. Through and through. It is Dead Space meets Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
Sure.
You dodge left, you dodge right, you press down to block. Every single encounter is Mike Tyson's Punch Out mixed with Dead Space. It starts out really fun. It starts out really interesting. And then it gets very, very, very mid very quickly. Co, you talked about how sometimes the dodging just doesn't work. Would love to hear your thoughts on the final boss of the game, because literally the dodging just stops working altogether. You've been taught the whole game, dodge, 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 dodge. You get to the end and it's like, nope, doesn't work anymore. Doesn't work anymore. Good luck.
Does he lose his legs or something like that? Is that the Callisto Protocol that he loses his legs?
Now look, I have to give it up that I completed this game before all the patches came out. There were several patches that came before, but during the process, but I completed the game Thursday morning at 5:45 in the morning because I was trying to get this video done as soon as possible for launch day, and I kind of missed it. But yeah, the boss fight at the very end of the game is rough. It's very, very rough, and it just does not work. Yeah, so I love this. I love the world. I love the atmosphere. I love the sound. I love the beautiful environments. But the plot's kind of paper thin, and even despite the performances being super solid, and you just kind of get tired of playing the game after a while. You just kind of like you need to take breaks. The thing that drove me crazy as a completionist, and this is all over my video, there's no chapter select, and there's not really a great indicator as to if you got all of the collectibles in the game. So there's two types of collectibles. There's like audio logs, and then they're called transplant rigs, which are like basically the data.
They're all out of order. That must have drove you crazy. I saw that too, where you go through a level and you think you missed something, but you just get it later in the game.
Oh man.
Thank you for understanding
crazy.
Dude, I replayed half the game several times because the game looks so pretty. It looks so pretty and it's so linear that you think, oh, you know what? If I just walk down this corridor, I'm probably going to find every single item. Not true. There are small little crawlable areas or little hallways that are barely lit that will have the collectible you need, but you'll scour through everything. And this is where I knew I was in trouble. There is I think it's the greenhouse chapter. After you get a collectible, you have to go outside and sneak past some monsters. And I died on the first engagement. When the game reloaded the checkpoint, the collectible I just got was gone, and I could not get it back. And I found that out at the end of the chapter, which meant I had to restart the chapter, replay the whole thing, and was like, where was that? Where was that collectible? I found the collectible. I made a backup save. I died, reloaded, and sure enough, the collectible was missing. So you had to, in order to get this collectible, you had to beat this section perfectly. And mind you, Co, I also played it on hard mode.
Oh,
I have to.
Man.
By default, I have to complete the games in the hardest setting. That is the rule for me.
I feel like so much of your life would be solved if you just played in easy mode.
I
But
wish.
he's not the completionist.
I wish.
Then
He's not the semi-completionist,
yeah.
Golden Boy.
Then he's the Babby completionist.
Just because you're the difficulty is that related to the
It is, man.
completion?
You have to
Yeah.
complete it on
Okay.
the hardest difficulty, or you might as well not complete it at all.
Yeah.
This
Wow,
is
okay.
This is
I-
where.
Yeah.
Yeah, I learned.
So
All right, guys.
This is where,
Let me-
Jirard
let-
lives, is this conversation right here.
let me cap off my final thought and note of my experience is that after failing the final boss, for like an hour and a half, an hour 45, I finally beat it. I got the platinum. I felt good. As I'm working on my video, I'm streaming the process, editing it, doing this whole thing. I boot up Twitter and I see that Greg Miller posted a tweet. Hey, if you can beat the boss of the game on the easiest setting. When the boss is done and you're walking down the final hallway to the end of the game, you can just turn the difficulty and get the trophy.
I saw that.
You can just skip the difficulty if you want.
That's my Greg Miller right there. Always finding the easy way out, baby. Let's go.
Okay, you can just skip the whole. Drew me crazy, man.
We could hear it in your voice. Yeah, we could hear the.
Even better, it came from Greg. It's even better that it came from Greg. Oh,
Smug
my
Greg
God.
Miller. Smug Greg Miller with this smug tweet. Avoid the
him
pain.
and his Marvel Avengers.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's wow. Wow.
Those are my
So
thoughts on Callisto Protocol.
I have to ask, like,
It was great.
for the Dead Space feeling, right? This what we're seeing on screen right now. Does it like present that spooky
Yeah, that's what I'm
game, like
wondering.
jump scare feeling? Like, is that
Does
all
it
present?
combat Dead Space? Does it feel like something that can sit alongside a massive IP like Dead Space?
It definitely makes
There
you
are
feel like Dead
times.
Space.
There are times when it does. There are sections and areas where you enter them and it does that thing where it kind of the camera zooms out a little bit so it shows more the back of your character and the camera slowly pans around the area and you're like, okay, this is cool.
Huh.
I've not seen this before. This is cool. Like, you're looking at like the whole like Callisto landscape, or you get to an area and like the doors open and like a dead body drops in front of it, and then there's just like carnage and alien shit everywhere, and it's like, oh, okay. Like this game is a good phrase for this game is glimpses of greatness. Like this game could have been awesome if it was
They could
more
fix it in a
cogent with a
sequel.
better combat system. Well, the problem is a lot of the stuff that doesn't work right is like core stuff. Like the combat system is like 60% there. But it doesn't work when there's multiple things. It becomes way too repetitive. But there's times when it works and it's just like, okay, that was cool. Like you walk up to 3 enemies and you're stasising them around like in Dead Space. You're like, okay, that was cool. I threw that guy into a blender and that guy's stuck on the wall and that dude's head came off. Like, awesome. That was fun. I liked this. But then in the next room, 2 guys attack you at once. You miss the first dodge and it hits you. The second guy hits you with a projectile, and then the third guy fatalities you when you're stuck in animation. It's just like, well, the last room was cool,
Sick.
I guess.
Okay.
Like it has there are these times when it's like this game could be awesome, and there's times when it feels awesome, and it's a good horror survival adventure game. But it's a roller coaster. It's a roller coaster of quality.
Yeah.
The weirdest choice about the game, and it's not too spoilery, but it's definitely a weird one. Ko, how far are you into the game?
For me, let's see. The last
I can
thing
put up
I
spoiler
did,
tags if you want.
Okay, slight spoiler, and I'll tell you because I'm right around this area. I just encountered this incredibly strange sequence where my character fell off something, leaving another character at the very top of it. And then after a nearly inexplicable scene, we both pop up in a different location without any explanation. And the other character just acting like everything's normal. And I'm sitting here going like, what, how, first, why are we here? Second, how did she get here? Third, what was that part between it? Like, it literally felt like a chapter or 2 was missing, or like the game was out of order. And then what's even stranger is that section is significantly easier than the entire first part of the game. And it's just like, was this supposed to be the intro? And just at some point they decided, like, I don't know. Anyway, that's where I am.
Did you, is this before the 2-headed boss or after the 2-headed boss?
I want to say before because that doesn't sound too familiar.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I
so
think
you're
nearly right
you're
before.
so you're right at
Arcus.
the point.
I'm in Arcus.
Oh, gotcha. There, essentially, everyone, there is a point in the game where the gameplay changes pretty significantly, and not in that like the melee Mike Tyson's Punch Out stuff. It's more. And guys, the two-headed boss was in the trailer. It's not.
No,
like
and for the record,
reveal.
the two-headed boss, I'm 90% sure was in that snippet I was talking about earlier with holding a button down.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The entire the how the game is designed goes from being like the punch out zone to like a what's it called, like a creepy stealth zone.
And
it becomes full on stealth. You have to sneak around, like it's a lot. It becomes like almost like a. It's not like in stealth games you have the option like go guns a-blazing or sneak around. In this case, it's like almost exclusively sneaking and stealth stuff, and it's like that for a long while.
To be fair, that section where it was like, okay, and there's like stuff all over the walls, like don't make a sound, be quiet, stuff like that. I just killed everything because, funny enough, the enemies
you just said, I'm going all
the enemies. Here's what's funny: the enemies are in the walls, right? If you walk up and just hit them once with melee, they fall over and die.
Yeah.
So you can actually just hit them out of the and then all of a sudden you're not stealthing. Like you can sneak around a little bit because the AI seems really dumb in that section. It's kind of weird. But like I just got loot. My whole playthrough's been loot. I don't use guns. And I don't use healing at all because you can sell that shit for money. So like and I'm a loot whore. So it's like I'm not firing a bullet. That's expensive. No, I'm not using a med kit. I'll just wait for the checkpoint and die. Like, no, that's money.
The Tarkov just
oh god. Yes.
Because playing Tarkov.
So that's why I'm like
Protocol.
I'm in this section and I have like most of the top rank upgrades because like everything I get, I sell. Everything. Yeah. Nothing I hold on to. Made the game significantly harder, especially after the tentacle thing happens. But it's it's been a thing. But yeah. It's
the
weird
the game
and it's strange.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing. There's a lot of weird and specific decisions that were made that still I'm baffled on. I'm still thinking about it. Like low inventory. Like you get 6 slots and there's not enough resources in the game. Like you struggle to get money to then upgrade your gear. It's very, very interesting. And I'm curious if you can I don't know if you know about if you're on like normal or easy, if you get more money or not.
I don't know.
Because
I was wondering that too.
On hard mode, you barely get income, and the only way to really get income is you just save. You save, and you try your best to like sell as much energy as you can, and it just feels weird because. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, not only that, you nailed it before because they give you this super restrictive inventory for like the first part of the game. And for me, I was constantly having to leave shit behind because I would not be able to carry it. I'd be full health, so I couldn't use a med pack. It's like, and they don't give you a store. And then the save points are so janky. Like I would literally get to a point where like there would be like I'd enter an area and it would save. There'd be a store, and then like a big fight in the next room. Well, I would go and spend 5 minutes selling and upgrading and stuff, go to the next room and die. And it's like, well, shit, okay. And it would reload me at the beginning of the room. So then I have to do all the upgrades and sell shit again. And then I die again due to like not dodge detecting right or something. Start over again. So it's like they could, of course, remedy this by just making it so stores save. But so many times I would, and then another big thing with the save system, just while I'm talking about it, the game frequently splits main story optional. And it does this all the time. But the problem is that if you go down the main story a little bit and it auto saves, then if you decide to go around and do the optional stuff, then if you go to the optional stuff, come back and die on the fight, it doesn't save any of the optional stuff. So many times I would have to like go back and do entire fight optional sequences and then go back and do the main thing and just hope to God that time I don't die. It really is just like, it's janktastic. It's just like this is basic stuff for most games, and it's like, why are we doing this now?
At the end of the game, before I fought the final boss, I was like, all right, I'm gonna like buy all my items and health and and all that stuff, right? Just to like be ready to go. And I'd save the game, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna like reload in case I mess up. And so I reloaded it, and nothing that I bought saved. I spent like 10 minutes like buying, crafting all my stuff,
the
getting all
save
ready
game
to go.
function is a lie. It's a lie. It does not save your game. It saves the checkpoint you're on. There's so it's like if your checkpoint is 15 minutes before you saved, then if you load your save game, I did the exact same thing you did. I did the exact same thing you did.
Wow, that sucks.
It drives me crazy. Yep.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Like a great experience.
Well, here's the thing. If you know it, like this is the kind of stuff. It's like it's the same with the checkpoint system. If you know this stuff going in, it's not that big of a deal. But it's like to figure it out or to find it out, it leads like a cool gameplay experience to just feel janky.
Yeah.
Like and it's really unfortunate. So they don't warn you about this stuff. They don't tell you this stuff at all. So yeah.
Final question I got. Does the character death sequence get old, or is it still fun the like 10th time watching your, I don't know, head get ripped off through something? Or
yeah, no, it's not gonna front that was just nasty what we saw there in the head and the separation of the mouth and the head.
They're not as unique as they claim they are. Like it's basically there's 3 or 4 enemy types in the game, like regular like enemies that you fight. 1 or 2 of them have their own unique animations because of their size and what they do. But the animation, like there's like 4 or 5
that are
of the same animations that are shared across all the characters. So a lot of like bashing over the chest, a lot of punching your face in, a lot of like neck breaking, pulling apart your mouth. Is there any like
environmental deaths that are unique?
Yeah, kind of depending on the device that's killing you.
Okay, all right, yeah.
Yeah,
fatalities in some cases are like the high point of the game. Very frequently, if I saw a unique animation go after my character, I would literally go, "Oh, okay," and just take my hands off the keyboard and be like, "Let's see what this one is."
Sure.
And some of them are really nasty and cool. Like a lot of enemies, just like Jirard said, there's like some very basic stuff, like just beating you in the head until you die, or if they hit you on the head and the top part of your skull flies off. Like multiple enemies can make that happen. So sometimes you just get like generic death animation that's disgusting. But every so often there'll be like a mob with tentacles and he'll get you in like a grab where his tentacles will go in your face. It's like, okay, this is going to be unique. Or a little thing jumps on you and it's like, okay, this is going to be unique. You know, or different spinning fans or suctioning weird devices and things like that. There's a lot of interesting ways to die in the game. And in some cases it's a high point if you like that stuff.
Okay.
The funny part about that too though is that there's also like a lack of death animations for some monsters you think are going to kill. Like there's these monsters that are like, like the crawly guys where they jump all over the place, similar to Dead Space. You'd assume that those guys would like chew your head off or like rip your legs off or something like that. Instead, it's just like, they take your arms and they look like they're going to it looks like they're going to rip your head off and instead they tear your arms off. And you're like, yeah, but you're a monster with scary teeth and scary mouth. Aren't you going to like chew my head off? Like what? It's kind of weird. And that happens a lot in the game.
Monsters.
Yeah. How dare you?
No,
you're right. You're right. You're right. You know what?
It's just like the cancellation of Batman. Yeah. All right. You know what?
I can't believe you would do this. John.
That's it, guys. That's, one time on dropped frames and then I got canceled. That did it.
Yeah.
It's terrible. Come on, guys.
Jesus. Jeez. I like GoldenBoy on the show because he can make the dark jokes just like I can, but I don't get in trouble when he says them. That's why it's great.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
Just
come scapegoat.
in.
You're the scapegoat.
The scapegoat, baby.
It's great. It's great. All right, I'm going to take the spoiler tag off for Callisto here.
Okay, so the review is not playing the game. Sick.
Yeah, like,
all right, moving on, guys.
Is this a buy on sale, like a sale game? Is that where you guys would sit with this?
I think for like, if you're a big fan of Dead Space, if you love these types of environments, you like the little scare, if you can deal with the little jank, it's one of those games where I feel like, probably you can grab it when it's on sale in a little bit. You'll probably have a good time on the way through. Maybe it needs a couple more patches kind of thing. Is this a AAA $60 experience? No.
Yeah.
It is not. It is not the next iteration of Dead Space.
Got it.
It is not. And that's what a lot of people wanted. They wanted Dead Space Plus.
That's what it was touted as.
It is not
Dead Space, not made by EA. And
It's not Dead Space Plus. It's like a double A solid attempt, but we're just not really right.
got it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. It's like Biomutant, you know? It reminds me of that.
There
It was
you
like
go.
that game was supposed to be
Hey,
like,
come on, I wouldn't go that
next-
far.
Never mind that. I take what I said
Just
back.
kidding. I'm kidding.
The old bio.
That's good.
Yeah. That's cool.
There's
stuff.
always an opportunity to just poop on Biomutant.
GoldenBoy, what have you been playing? What's been going on in your neck of the woods before we talk some Marvel?
Well,
Marvel.
Are you snapping?
that's what I've been playing.
Yeah.
That's what
That's what
Okay.
I figured.
Oh,
All right. How's
Yeah.
your snap? Are you snapping in the
Oh,
streets?
dude.
How's it going?
I snap in the streets. I snap in the toilet. I snap at dinner. I snap on the sofa. I snap in bed. You know, I snap everywhere
Dude,
I need to
You
snap.
can snap anywhere. It's fantastic.
It is a good freaking game. Very shocked. You know that like there are some elements of the game that can at times feel a little daunting, like the collection level tracks and stuff. Like
yeah.
you know, my friend Gaskin, he's at like 3,000 collection level, but he's been playing since beta.
Yeah. Same.
Right.
Hold on. What does that mean? 3,000 collection level? That sounds like I need to take out a mortgage for my house. Like what?
No, it's really
hard-
not bad. I can explain it. I have it right here.
Yeah,
So you see this
explain
right here? So you see, I'm trying to see if I can zoom in on this here. Okay. So this is your collection track,
Yeah.
right? And the point of the game is that I'm going to see if I can scroll down real fast because the
We're gonna
point of the
scroll
game is
off.
to collect cards, right? And as you collect cards, you like unlock them right through these collection level tracks. This didn't work out the way that I hoped.
It's
it would.
essentially a battle pass
anyway.
that doesn't end. Is how you can look at it.
Okay.
And that is how it determines the people you play against, right? So when you start the game off, you're in Series 1, or Pool 1, as the community has called it. And Pool 1 are an assortment of cards that are isolated to that pool. Then you earn enough collection level.
It's like 1 to 200.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you go into Pool 2, where you get a few more cards. And then you earn the collection level there. And while you're playing the whole time, you're only playing against people who are in that pool. Right now that you get into Pool 3, that's where a lot of the meta cards exist, and that's where you start playing against a lot of like the stronger decks, if you will.
Yeah.
But the point of the game is just to collect as many cards as possible, and then you build decks. It's basically like Hearthstone or whatever. But it's just the gameplay is so fun. It's so
It's
different.
like 5 or 6
because
minute matches, and that's you're
Exactly.
done. You move on to the next.
You could play legit like 5 games in the span of like 20 minutes if you're quick about it. It's the perfect lunch break game.
Yeah.
And I think like it's got such potential as a competitive game, but just as just a game you just play on your own, it's so freaking enjoyable. Because the whole purpose of the game is you're not actually going against someone. You are, but you aren't. Your objective is to just have more power in 2 of the 3 locations than your opponent. That's the point of the game. You have some cards that affect what your opponent can do, but for the most part, you're trying to create a pairing that is just the numbers are greater than your opponent. And I've been streaming it for the last few days now. And one, it's been so fun to stream because people just come in, they are playing while you're playing, and we're just sharing deck ideas and stuff. And yeah, this is Ben Brood, the guy who made Hearthstone, and he went off and made this game. Yeah, and it's just a fun game. It's a fun, simple game. And if you love Marvel Comics, it's even better because then you start to collect these variants, and it's like all these different artworks that are out there from different runs in the comic books, and it's just a cool game, man. And it doesn't like beat you over the head. It doesn't ask you for money out of the gate. Like it doesn't even really ask you for money ever. It's actually entirely up to you if you want to spend.
Yeah, for like for the mobile game market, it's actually hard to whale in this. Like the most amount of money you can spend a day, and you have to try pretty hard, is something like $20.
Yeah.
And like in the mobile world, granted, I know to the Twitch audience, people are like, $20 a day. People could spend like 20,000 a day on mobile games, right? Like that's fucking nothing.
It can get absurd.
Yeah.
This game is not that. It's a game. It's like an actual competitive game. It's not.
Most people
Yeah.
I know that play this game have not spent a single dollar because there's no reason to really. It's very
You buy
generous
the
in what
battle
it gives
pass
you. Yeah,
if you want to get the card immediately, but you'll get the card down the line anyway because they'll put it into the collection track. So you'll get the card anyway. So if you want Miles Morales Spider-Man, if you want right now Black Panther is the current
that ends
card
on Tuesday.
because
Silver Surfer's
you know,
coming on Tuesday.
I know,
GoldenBoy.
I can't wait. And it's like, I buy the cards, I buy the collection track, but you get so much value out of it that it's like, I don't feel like I really spent $10. I got my money back, and I got a card, and I got a bunch of variants, and I got a bunch of boosters. So yeah, it's just a really good game. It's like it's everywhere right now because like it's like all these ads on Twitter.
Dude, what is
and,
with the
know,
ads on Twitter for like just to cut in
I
there?
don't know.
It's actually like I'm not even kidding. I will scroll 3 tweets, and within 3 tweets, I will see 2 ads for this fucking game. And if I continue scrolling, I'll see another 5 or 6. It's like it's the only thing that's advertising on gamer Twitter right now. It's really weird.
Yeah, it is really odd. But I can comfortably say, as a competitive person, as a person who enjoys, these types of games, I love Pokemon TCG. It's like one of my favorite card games ever. This game has usurped all of that. It is like at the top for me. It's so enjoyable.
Yeah.
And I have no problem telling people to play it.
I have a question.
Mm.
I'm friends with a lot of pixel artists, and a lot of them are up in arms about not up in arms. They're not like cancel the game, but they're pissed off because like there are some cards that are like retro or like pixel cards.
Yeah, there's pixel art cards in the game. Yeah.
There's like chibi art and all that stuff. There's a bunch.
Yeah. I've heard a lot of my friends are mad that like they didn't go all in on the artwork for some of the retro stuff. Like they could have been like kind of cut corners. Do you feel like some of the cards, and it's not weird to say because it's all digital, right? If this was like a Pokemon card in my hand, I could show you. It feels cheap, but are some of the cards more extravagant, I guess, and feel more valuable than others?
Oh yeah, I mean they're even weighted as such.
Yeah.
Like,
I think hold on. Isn't that the entire point? Isn't the
it's gonna
point
be
that
green
you
screen.
want the player to feel like there's like a quality progression as they kind of like move through
So
the ranks?
So
there's
the variants serve multiple purposes in the game, right?
They do.
Obviously for the cool factor, depending on the card you get, but they also serve to help you level up more in the game.
Interesting.
Because when you get a variant, so like the way that your cards level up, there's no statistical attributes that change. It's literally just the design. You can have a blue frame, it's a white frame to a green frame to a blue frame to a purple frame, then a gold frame, and each one has like a different thing. So like the blue frame cards, like the Okoye that you see there, that is 3D.
it's frame
right?
break. I think.
Or no. Frame break is 2, 3D is 3, and then is blue, and then
Right.
Animated is purple. So you can see there how the card kind of the sticks out right from the card itself. That's the frame break which you get in level 2. So you get a variant, then you get a frame break, and that all leads to you leveling up in the collection track. So cards that you would have maxed out to like legendary status, to like gold status or infinity, I forget the final rank. I have no cards that are infinite rank yet. They kind of get like a second life, if you will.
They get a
So you
foil.
can play that card again and then level up that track because you only level up cards that you play, which is why playing is very important. It's not like you could just buy your way to some of these cards. You actually have to play and then level up your cards the old-fashioned way. So as far as the pixel art goes, yeah, some of them are a little bit like boring. They're not the best cards, but to me, they just kind of served a means to an end of me just leveling up my collection track. That's honestly it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way to advance is to literally just play, because every time you play a game, you get 6, I forget what the actual in-game thing is, but 6 tokens.
You get orbs.
Yeah. Well, and then
you
those
get orbs.
tokens are applied to a single card after every game. And it's like 5 for the first rank, 10 for the second rank, 20, 30, 50, whatever. And I think it scales out to 50. Boosters,
and you use
that's
those
the name
orbs,
of it. Yeah.
The booster orbs, you use those with the credits And if there's one portion of the game that actually does struggle, it's getting the credits to level up your cards. That after a point in time, you're kind of scraping for credits. Like you'll be at a point in the game where you'll have like 4,000 credits, and you're like, oh my god, it's amazing. I'm just continuing to level up, and this is awesome. And then you hit a wall on credits. But the thing is that you can't even buy like a crazy amount of credits besides right now. But I'll say that in a second. But like you just spend 400 gold or 200 gold or something like that, and then you get 400 credits. It's not like a good value, right? The only way you can get a crap ton of credits right now is if you spend $100 for the Apocalypse package.
That's brand new.
But there's so much crap in it. It's like, is it worth 100? No. But there's a lot of crap in it that you get. You get
Is
a
it the
bunch of orbs,
hashtag best value, GoldenBoy?
No, I don't think it is. I'm honestly struggling to justify. I was on the bed. I was laying on the sofa yesterday. My wife was watching TV, and I was looking at the Apocalypse thing, and I was like, "Do I do it? Do I be the thing that I hate?" And I tell her, and I was like, "Should I get this?" She's like, "Do you want it?" And I was like, "Yes." She's like, but is it worth it? And I was like, not really. She's like, then I don't think you should get it. And then I tweeted, and I was like, it'd be really nice if they just gave a kickback to the artist, and this way I feel justified for spending this money. Good
There
God,
you go.
I'm too much.
You took
But they don't do that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's Marvel.
It's a great game though. It genuinely is great. I would highly suggest, if you love Marvel, it's amazing. If you love creative card games, it's even better.
Yep. I would agree with that. I've been playing for a while. My collection's 2114. So I'm up there.
Oh shoot. Yeah. I'm just 750 right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have my issue is that I have too many friends that are at like 4,000 collection ratings, so they have every card in the game, and they're just like, man, I just played bibbity bloppity into blip blop, and I'm infinity level 100. I'm like, yeah, go fuck yourself up there on Mount Olympus. Okay, down here is the Peasantville. I ain't got shit. I can't do any of that. You fuck.
Yeah, I just got Wong, and I was like, finally, I can play meta decks. You know, like it's nuts.
Yeah. So every time I like pull a quote unquote rare tier 3 or even a tier 4 or tier 5, I'm like, thank God, it's so exciting. And they're just like, welcome to the show, motherfucker. Like, you can finally play some real decks. But it's been fun. I got into it really this past week again because they put in the token shop, which is a thing.
Yeah.
So one of the biggest complaints is that you couldn't like target farm cards. It was just pure RNG what cards you were going to unlock. And so they added this thing called the token shop. So on that collection level progression, you get another currency called tokens. And then every 8 hours, there's a new card that's cycled in that you can specifically like target.
That's in-game currency.
Yes, that's all in game, and you can't buy collection level
tokens.
Or sorry, you can't buy tokens outright. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't buy tokens, and also another cool thing is like because it's 8 hours. If let's say like there's a card there that you really really need for a meta deck, but you don't have enough tokens, you can pin it,
and it'll just stay forever,
and it'll just stay there. So again, it's like a lot of things that they do in the game are very much like player friendly. But then they release the Apocalypse $100 pack, and everyone's kind of like,
well. The funny part, the reason they
Wait,
did
are you
that,
trying to make money off us?
The funny part, GoldenBoy, is the whales were crying because they couldn't spend money in it. Like people on the like Reddit and all of the discussion boards were like, we want to spend money in this game, but you're not allowing us to spend money. Like it's the complete inverse of what you would expect from like the Twitch audience, where like people in the chat are just like, oh, fucking mobile games. These people are like the complete opposite.
I mean, no, to be fair, like there's always going to be people that have a huge amount of money that want to use that money to get an advantage over other people.
Sure.
That's a constant.
Yeah.
So the fact that Marvel doesn't offer that, they can kind of play the whole, like, look, we're not catering to the whales, but that doesn't necessarily or shouldn't necessarily give them like the cred to then make more money off the non-whales.
Right.
It's
man. I just want to support the dev and
the artists.
You just want to win.
Just want to support the artists. Hold on a second, guys. It's only 7,500 gold. Right. I mean, come on. That's
not even. It's not even 100. Yeah.
Okay, that's how it starts, man.
The money.
I don't have a problem.
Look, I mean, I do. That's right. That's why it says sold under mine, GB.
You didn't buy it. What? You bought it. Oh,
dude,
my God.
it's incredible. You get 3,000 collection tokens. You get 9,500 credits.
Value.
The value's off the charts.
I'm
JP,
gonna buy this tonight.
That's what I was gonna say. You're gonna make
3
GB
Marvel
buy it.
executives just watching
You
the
know what's
show
funny?
just tinked their wine glasses together. They were like, "Hey, it's value, right, JP? It's value."
My community
Gentlemen?
always gets in my ass about this because for Valorant, I was buying all the skins. For Halo, I was buying all, and they're like, "Why are you doing this?" I was like, "I don't buy anything for myself." Okay, this chain. It took me 20 years to buy a chain from Zales for $100, and it was on sale. Okay, like a majority of the stuff here that I have was like gifts or something, you know.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I'm very grateful and very lucky, but I just don't spend money.
Look,
and when it's like justify $100 for an Apocalypse variant that I really, really want, it's just, you gave me the confidence.
For me, it had nothing to do with the variant. It was the 9,500 blue crystals, you know, because then you could upgrade and get that higher collection level and get some more cards.
Oh, son of a bitch. You got me.
Yeah.
You just tinked again, by the way.
Bastard. Just tink the glass.
Yeah.
There's someone watching on one of your streams that's like, they did it. I'll do it too.
And I'm happy
The
to
marketing
announce.
manager is like, JP, keep going.
I'm happy to announce.
Tell us about your collection level.
Within the
you
next
need it up,
week,
don't you?
I'll be doing a sponsored stream for Marvel Snap, but I'm just going to link them this VOD.
Hook me
It's
up.
saying, come on, baby, cha-ching. Let's go.
Dude, I'll be the best advocate for the game possible. Oh my God.
Yeah,
You know?
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I want that Silver Surfer, though, on
I do.
on Tuesday. It looks pretty rad.
It is a good game, though. Like, all jokes aside, it is a really good game. I've been saying this 5 times, and I sound like a shill at this point, but I will definitely enjoy seeing that stream. So have fun with it.
Oh God,
be good.
Card games on Twitch streaming card games are rough because the second you misplay, chat's gonna let you know. Luckily, I play a really RNG based deck now, so I can't actually misplay. It's just based on pure RNG, and it's a lot of fun.
Streaming deck.
Yeah, it's when you're like half asleep.
I have actually been having a lot of fun streaming it, though. Honestly, a lot of players that are like higher level than me come in, and then we kind of just like, we get really nerdy.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a smaller stream than you guys, so like, you know, we can like talk and actually like come up with deck ideas and stuff, and to get really nerdy with it. So it is fun in that capacity.
There's an esports tournament for it. GoldenBoy, I don't know if you saw that, but they've been streaming some stuff for it. It's kind of weird because the way that they're handling it right now is just how many now I'm blanking on it. How many cubes you can get in a certain amount of time. And
so it's like a kill hunt in VR events, like what Twitch Rivals would do, but they're doing it with the cubes. Interesting. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Completionist, why are you gifting subs? What are you doing?
I'm spreading the love. JP, you're just giving GoldenBoy another reason for him to get involved in another industry to then demolish. Like, GoldenBoy, to be specific people who host different things. You can't host every single esport in the planet,
Yeah,
Mike.
you can.
It's okay. I don't do League of Legends. You know,
Okay.
I don't like that game.
That's the one.
And,
That's
he
the
leaves
one.
it to Shucks.
That's the one.
Yeah. If we could take League of Legends and Machine could do Dota, and we're chilling, you know, and then I'll do everything else.
He'll handle all the FPS titles. Every one of them.
Fair enough.
And Marvel Snap.
It was
Fair
a
enough.
funny thing, though. It was funny, like at the studio, because you know, it was always like I would disappear for like 3-4 days, and then everyone's like, "Where'd you go?" And I was like, "Oh, I just went and hosted a show with State Farm." Oh, okay, cool. And then they come back and we're like, "Where'd you go again?" "Oh, yeah, I just got fly back and forth to New York to do this thing with AT&T." "Oh, okay, cool." He's like, "Where'd you go?" "Oh, I was just in Copenhagen doing a Valorant tournament." It's like, "Oh, okay." And it was just like every week, it was like, "Where the hell is like, where's GoldenBoy?" It was like, hey, "Where's Carmen Sandiego?" But with a less attractive, balder version of it, you know?
That recent Nade Shot tweet about traveling and all that shit, that was real. I don't know if you saw that, GoldenBoy, but
I did, and I was going to comment on it. I commented on it, and then the first response was, so for those who don't know, Nade Shot put out a tweet talking about how like traveling, you know, really does like wear you out, and
unlike the esports circuit.
on the esports circuit, and I am a professional traveler because that's just what I've been doing for the last 10 years. Has just been flying, event to event to event. There was a point in time, 1 year, where I was on the road. There's 52 weeks in a year. I was on the road for about 43 of them, just straight. Where I would I would come home for a day, I'd pack a new bag, and I'd fly out. I'd come back, I'd grab my wife, we'd fly to another place. Like it was just a constant, constantly. It was a lot, right? And it's still happening. So I responded to that and be like, dude, trust me, I know exactly what you're saying. And then the first response was like, yeah, but it's better than working a blue collar 9-to-5 job. And I was like, oh, son of a bitch. All right, I guess my mental struggle doesn't really matter here. All right,
Back it up.
Not like I worked in a warehouse for 3 years, just shuffling shit around and stuff. No. But such is the way of life.
All fun and games until someone drops but it's not an office job.
Right? Yeah. It is what it is, but it is a very tiring thing to just like be traveling all the time. It sucks.
Oh, it's
because everyone thinks
awful.
it's like some glorious thing where like you're seeing all these sites and you're going to all these amazing things. It's like, no, I'm not.
Man, you're checking out. Yeah.
I go to a shuttle. A shuttle takes me to a hotel. I pass out because I'm jet lagged. I wake up. I go to a rehearsal. I come back. I eat catering food at the event. I don't get to see any sites. The only way I get to see sites if my wife comes.
The only thing you get to see is the convention center.
To 2 different conventions in the same year, 6 years ago. I still have nightmares. I don't even.
It's true.
Seriously, no. Real talk. I'm a homebody. I'm a creature of habit. The idea of like traveling 40 weeks out of the year is horrifying.
Yeah,
it's like that is like, it takes a lot of commitment.
Yeah, no, it sucks. And then also like you don't really get it. That's why like when I joined G4, I was very excited about that opportunity because I wanted to be able to like establish something and grow something. Like I have not a lot of time at home to like do things, and then when I am home and I stream again, small community, so like it's just a few of us who have known each other for many years now at this point just kind of come through and we just chill and hang out, which I guess is like it's a good thing, but then it also looks weird because then like I would get an opportunity to like stream a show or do something on my channel because it's like, oh, GoldenBoy, he can host your thing, and then unless I'm getting front page, like I'm not pulling those types of numbers. So you get really self-conscious about like, what is my actual value in this industry? Am I really just a guy who you put in front of a camera and say, oh yeah, say things good and throw to commercial break? Or, do I actually have like value as GoldenBoy, as like the way that JP and Co and, Completionist, you guys have these brands. So that's always the struggle with myself. So when I'm on the road, of 40 weeks out of the year, I'm thinking like, oh my God, this is time that I'm not streaming. I'm not producing a video. I'm not posting this. I'm not doing that. It is a very mentally draining thing. And I'm very grateful for the work that I do, but it is so draining to like constantly have to have that in the back of your mind. It's like, you're not doing enough. So,
I think that's a shared feeling across anyone that is in the commentating industry and really the content creator industry is am I doing enough?
And the most interesting thing about that mindset, GoldenBoy, is you're actually going like above and beyond what most creators would do to pursue what you're trying to do in your professional career by doing all that traveling. So it's like, you're getting all the negatives and none of the benefits. Yes.
Yeah.
Super great.
You know what, though, the one silver lining for me though, genuinely, is that like, at the very least, I get to bring my wife with me and we get to see these places together when she does decide to come, because she ain't going to go to a gig in Texas, but let me tell you, she'll show up to Copenhagen any time of the week.
It's weird how that works. It's strange.
Isn't it? But, but I'm really grateful that I get to share those moments with her. And that makes it worth it. But, and then, just go on Twitter after a cast and just see like, a person just be like, oh man, GoldenBoy's such a shit commentator. And then your mental just like down the drain.
Dude, that was
like, oh my God. Like,
now you're triggering core memories of like, that was the worst thing that I would do. When I casted StarCraft, I would, after every big tournament, go immediately to the Reddit and read almost every single comment for that night. And it was the stupidest thing. Like no one, for whatever reason, no one was like, hey, stop fucking doing that. because they were doing the same fucking thing because everyone does that. It's
Yeah.
so unhealthy. It's like the most unhealthy thing you could do as a commentator.
I have since had to push it away.
Really, just a
You know?
person in general.
Yeah.
When
It's
when G4 launched, after the big launch special, I went back and I was trying to read the sentiment of how it went, how I did with Adam and everything. And the first comment I saw, and it shook me to my core, was, wow, so they got someone who just ate Morgan Webb and sat next to Adam on the couch.
Jesus
And immediately
Christ.
I was like, well,
God damn it,
I
dude.
guess that's me.
Yeah.
Forget the 11-year journey of completing a game a week. I'm just a fat guy on the couch.
Fucking hell, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It was it can be very you know, draining, especially when you like expose yourself to like a new community, you know.
Oh,
So
dude, that's an
always
art.
really scary.
It is an art
yeah.
to like
Oh, yeah.
get into a community for the first time like that, or to pierce the
Yeah.
veil of a community. Whew.
And I've done it now at least 10, 20 times.
Yeah,
You know,
that's insane.
But it's like everyone always thinks it's like, oh yeah, GoldenBoy does this because he's chasing paychecks, and it's like, don't get me wrong, like I'm getting paid. You know what I mean? Like yeah.
It's your
It's not a
job. I would
surprise.
hope you are.
That's
Yeah.
such an insane comment. Yeah.
But the thing is that I love the things that I do. Like I have a rule that I never take a gig for something I don't care about. And I would hope people could just take solace in the fact that when they see me there, they know I care. I want to be there. I want to do this, you know, because I love it so much. Like I enjoy the game, or I enjoy the community, or I enjoy the developer, or I enjoy the people I'm working with. Like there's reasons for it, you know, but
Absolutely,
it's
yeah.
definitely it can be mentally taxing after all these years.
Oh,
You know?
yeah, I don't doubt it.
Not Hyrule Warriors taxing though.
It's true.
be honest.
We're not out here playing
There's different levels of
1,200
dedication.
hours of
There's,
Hyrule. Wars.
Yeah.
there's
We're
Golden
not.
Boy, and then there's Hyrule
not there.
Warriors.
Hyrule Warriors.
Yeah.
That sounds depressing. You know, that's so I'll just
Yeah.
laugh at Jirard. Sorry.
It's true.
Yep.
That's true. All right. Well, let's wrap up. It's been a show. Jirard, I'm gonna ask you. We'll do some shout outs here. In your shout out, please let us know what your next 1,200 hour commitment is, if there is one.
Hyrule Warriors sick.
Oh man. This week coming up, obviously it's the Game Awards coming out. I'll be at the Game Awards, I think, maybe, if they'll let me in.
Nice.
On Friday I'm doing it, or next Saturday we're doing an episode of FPS, Friends Per Second podcast on Ralph's Skill Up channel. We have a special guest that I can't talk about.
Ooh.
But on
Oh,
my
my.
channel on Saturday, a week from tomorrow, I guess, or yesterday, on the 10th, my completions video on God of War Ragnarok will be coming out. So if you want to know what it's like to complete God of War Ragnarok, come on by and have a good time. Thanks for having me, guys. You can follow me on Twitch as well as on YouTube. And hey, this was really fun. Thank you for having me, and shout outs to JP and Co and your guys' communities for having me. This was really fun. Thank you.
Of course. Thank you so much for being on, man. It was an absolute pleasure.
Sure.
Golden Boy, complete opposite. You're not welcome
Yeah.
back. You're not.
Yeah, no, never. Never.
Came on the
never
show,
again.
started controversies.
I know.
What can I
jeez.
say?
You're out here just
What I
promoting Marvel Snap to the kids. The communities are just very upset with you.
Just a shill. Just a shill.
What do you got going on?
yeah,
Just shout-outs.
Yeah. You know, I'm GoldenBoy. Hey, you know, I haven't been around the esports space for a really, really long time now. You know, obviously, I want to give a massive shout out to JP and Co. And Zeke, even though he's not here. You know, we obviously love to be a part of this crew. You guys are amazing, and it's always a pleasure to be a part of this. Thank you so much. Thank you also to your communities as well for being so kind and welcoming. And also a special shout out to Jirard, my homie. And for those who want to know, Retribution will return one day. We're just getting our schedules aligned. The retro
You gotta
gaming show
plan
we
it.
used to do on G4. We got to plan it. We want to do
Yeah.
it right. Yeah, I mean, as far as what I got coming up, I will be working the Esports Awards as a host, where I'm actually nominated for Host of the Year as well as Personality of the Year. So
nice.
if you want to get in there and vote for me, you can go to esportsawards.com/vote, find my face and click on it. That'd be cool. Lots of great people there, so you can vote for whoever you want. Doesn't really matter. But anyway, So I'll be hosting that, and then the week after that, I'll be doing a Gundam Evolution show with Namco Bando. So Bandai Namco. Oh my god. Namco Bandai.
Yes,
Bando.
you're not. I'm not the only one that does that. I do that every fucking time.
But yeah, so I'll be doing that, and yeah. Other than that, and streaming as well. I've been very consistent on the stream for the last few weeks now. So you can find me on there at twitch.tv/GoldenBoyFW. What faces in the chat?
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are learning that you're what face for the first time. At least there were in my chat. That was fun. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Mankind
Mando.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mankind
Mando. That sounds like a Star Trek or a Star Wars character.
Nando's
Nando's
Bankai.
Nambo Bankai. Anyway, big thank you to the Completionist and GoldenBoy. It has been a pleasure. It was nice to meet you, the Completionist. I finally got you followed on Twitter. I don't know why I wasn't. But anyway, and also thank you for that gift bomb. Also, big thanks to JP as always. My name is Ko. Hi. I'll be playing more Valheim. We'll be finishing up Callisto Protocol. We'll probably be checking out Dwarf Fortress here in a little bit. You're gonna complete that one, right? Completionist, Dwarf Fortress, do everything there is to do in that game.
I've never heard of it, but I'm already scared to think about it.
You just ended this man's career.
Looking it up right now.
Oh my god. Dwarf Fortress 100%. It's on. Anyway, thank you all so much for being here. See you next week if I don't see you before then. I'll be on in about 2.5 hours. We completely restarted our Valheim base. We're gonna be working on that tonight, doing some more Mistlands farming, all that good stuff. So see you guys then. Thanks as always, and bye-bye.
Awesome stuff. Thanks to all three of you for being on. Zeke, we'll see you next week. Next week on Drop Frames, we'll be doing our God of War spoiler cast. I believe, I think Zeke's finished with that. We'll check in, and if not, we'll push that back. We are restreaming the Game Awards. That's on this Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern is when our show will start. I believe the full show starts at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Jirard, if you're there, we'll look out for you. We'll try to find you in the crowd.
Yeah, man.
Let us know.
Yeah, you'll see me in the nosebleed seats. They'll barely let me in the building. So
okay. We'll try.
Thank you.
I'll be streaming some Midnight Suns after this. We got some more sponsored streams coming up this week. Marvel Snap, some Dunkin' Donuts stuff, some Portal stuff. There's one other one that I'm blanking out, but it doesn't matter. You can just follow my Twitter.
It's Namco Bandai.
Yeah.
Namco Bandai.
Bamkai Namco.
Namco Bamboo.
You're cursing. You realize you're fucking your brain up right now, right?
Oh.
I never have to say it on the show. I just gotta say Gundam Evolution.
Also, kind of interesting. So Jeff came out and he said that this year's show is going to be smaller with less titles.
Really?
But then he also said there's like a list of things that are going to be announced at this year's Game Awards, and there is like a lot of stuff. Like the next project from Control. Yeah, it's sort of like a leak list, or just kind of like things that they've hinted at. The Diablo 4 release date.
I saw that.
The next project from the Control devs. There's the more stuff from Star Wars Jedi. Next one.
Nice.
Like maybe even Hideo Kojima's next project. So like it theoretically the show's going to be smaller, but it sounds like it's going to be
smaller in what capacity though? Like awards?
He said significantly shorter.
Man, they should just stop with the awards at this point.
I think the quote was that there's going to be less games and less like big announcements, but you know, in his mind, like the big announcement stuff, like last year's show, he said was like gigantic and there wasn't like a huge amount of stuff there. And this year he's saying it's not as big, and it seems like there's more big stuff there. It's been hinted at. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But
I know Yoshi P is going to be on stage. I know they're showing Final Fantasy 16 because they tweeted as such. So I'll look at that. That'll be exciting. Also, Ed Boon said no Mortal Kombat reveal, or no NetherRealm Studios game reveal at the Game Awards. So
that tracks.
Yeah, we'll see.
Damn, I can't wait to watch it though.
It'll still be fun.
Yeah, I'm still excited. Yeah. Sure. There's already confirmed a lot of like cool big things there.
Yeah,
so.
That's true. Also, last bit here. We got to play Street Fighter because they're doing another beta on the 16th. I think it's that weekend. We got to play. We got to get into it.
For sure.
Ooh.
You guys are welcome to if you're both fighters of the street.
GoldenBoy can cast it.
I love Street Fighter. I love Street Fighter.
Yeah? Did you play 6?
Oh, hell yeah. Let's do it.
Oh, you were probably, did you go to that, the E3 event to play 6? Were you there?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Summer Game Fest
as well.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Tons of fun.
We'll touch base. Maybe set up we'll get GoldenBoy to cast a little mini tournament or something.
Yeah, man.
Break some controls. That's it. Thanks for watching Drop Frames, everyone. We'll see you next week. Zeke will be back and probably a guest or something. We'll figure it out. Have a good one. We're out of here. Bye-bye.